You scroll through hundreds of posts every day. You watch people share their wins, their photos, their thoughts. You know their lives better than they know yours. Your thumb hovers over the reply button, the comment box, the share icon, and then you close the app without leaving a trace. You tell yourself you have nothing interesting to say, that no one wants to hear from you anyway, that you're just not one of those people who posts, and somewhere deep down, you've started to believe that this makes you a coward, that everyone else got some gene for confidence or visibility, and you got left out, that you're invisible because you're weak. But what if that reflex to stay hidden isn't weakness? What if it's one of the most sophisticated survival strategies your brain ever learned? You're not broken, you're not lazy, and you're not missing some confidence gene everyone else got. What you're doing online, the watching, the distance, the careful invisibility, it made perfect sense once, and your brain still thinks it does. Think of a child at a new playground. Some kids run straight to the swings, others stand at the edge, watching, learning who's safe, who's volatile, where the danger is. They're not less brave, they're gathering data before they risk exposure. Attachment theorist John Bowlby called this the watcher stance. It's what children do when closeness has been unpredictable, when being seen has sometimes felt safe and sometimes felt like standing too close to a fire. So they watch, they learn the patterns, they stay close enough to feel connected, but far enough to stay safe. That's what you're doing online. You scroll through feeds, you watch stories, you read every comment thread. You feel close to people. You know their humor, their struggles, their routines. It's a kind of intimacy, but it's intimacy without exposure. Psychologists call this parasocial closeness, the feeling of relationship without the risk of rejection. You get the warmth of human connection, the sense that you're part of something, without ever having to step into the light and be judged. And here's the truth your brain already knows. Invisibility is safe. When you don't post, you don't get criticized. When you don't comment, you don't get misunderstood. When you don't share, you don't get ignored, or worse, noticed in the wrong way. You've built a life in the margins of the digital world, where you can observe, absorb, even care deeply, without ever risking the pain of being seen and found lacking. And that's not weakness. That's strategy. That's your nervous system doing exactly what it was designed to do, keep you alive by keeping you hidden. The problem is, it's not sure the danger ever ended. Posting something online can feel like dropping your armor in the middle of a battlefield, and if that's how it feels to you, there's a reason. If you grew up in a home where attention was dangerous, where your words were used against you, where expressing yourself led to punishment or mockery, your brain learned a very simple rule: visibility equals pain. Developmental psychologists call this an eggshell environment, a place where you had to monitor every word, every tone, every facial expression, because you never knew what would set someone off. In that environment, the safest thing you could do was become small, quiet, invisible. Watch everyone else, read the room, never give them a target. That hypervigilance kept you safe, and your brain never forgot it. So now, 30 years later, when you think about posting a photo or leaving a comment, that same alarm goes off. What if they mock me? What if they turn on me? It's not the internet you're afraid of. It's the dinner table. It's the classroom. It's every room you learn to survive by staying silent. Let me tell you about Daniel. He's 34, a software engineer, and he hasn't posted anything personal online in 6 years. He grew up with a father whose mood could flip in seconds, one moment laughing, the next tearing Daniel apart for a comment he made at dinner. So Daniel learned early: don't speak unless you're sure, don't share unless it's safe, and if you're not sure it's safe, stay quiet. Now he watches his co-workers post on LinkedIn, watches his friends share on Instagram, And he feels that same tightness in his chest he felt at age 9, wondering if his next sentence would start a fight. Daniel's not afraid of the internet. He's afraid of being punished for being seen. And his brain is still trying to protect him from a danger that ended decades ago. You're not a coward. You're not invisible because you're weak. You're invisible because you learned to be. That thumb hovering over the comment box, it's not hesitation. It's your brain doing what it was trained to do, keeping you safe. And now you get to decide, what does safety look like when you're no longer at that dinner table? You don't have to perform. You don't have to suddenly become someone loud or confessional or constantly visible. But you also don't have to keep treating the internet like it's the room you grew up in, because it's not. The people here aren't the people who taught you that being seen was dangerous, and the silence that once protected you might now be protecting you from nothing. You don't have to post today. You don't have to be loud. But maybe, just maybe, you can start to see your silence not as failure, but as a story. And every story gets to have a next chapter.